Hello everyone and welcome to our complete wellness and detox presentation tonight. I'm here with Alexandros and we're going to be sharing some really great information and information that we have been connected to pretty much over the 15 years, and we are been practicing and living this information and sharing it with many people, and we're seeing so many people's lives change by understanding some simple disciplines and understanding what is really going on within their bodies and how they can connect to some really amazing good nutrition to help them with their ailments and all the problems that they have. So my name's Helene and I'm here tonight with Alexandros, and I'm going to pass it over to Alexandros. Hi Alexandros. So I'll pass it over to you and you can take us into part one of our presentation.
Fantastic. So welcome everybody. Like to start by just sharing that I'm also living and breathing this complete detox and complete lifestyle solution for myself, with fantastic results over the years, ranging from improvements in my energy levels and skin through to a significant amount of weight loss, and also helping friends and family to achieve similar results. So tonight we're going to go through a couple of very interesting and very important information points which not a lot of people are aware of. So tonight I'll just start the slide. So you should be able to see my screen sharing. So we'll go to the next slide. So the problem is that we have a sluggish metabolism. Most people nowadays, they'll either feel a little bit tired or a little bit overweight or a little bit overworked or a little bit overstressed, right? And what results out of all that is that our metabolism starts to slow down, especially as we age. We have imbalances in our hormones. So I've experienced that myself with adult acne and similar types of issues. So that can be a problem for a lot of people. Acidity in the body, so that's where your blood is actually not alkaline. It becomes acidic, and that can happen from consuming a lot of sugar or using products with potentially harmful ingredients in them on a daily basis, so like our shampoos and body washes and washing powders, that sort of thing, that are sort of mainstream products, and also organs and toxic fat stores in the body. And what happens there is that actually slows down the body's ability to release weight and also generate energy. So that's why we wake up feeling tired, or we have those extra 5, 10, maybe even 20, 30 kilos that we're not able to shift just by doing a bit of dieting or going to the gym. So I was one of those people. And I didn't understand for many years what nutritional cleansing was. So I thought that dieting and exercising was the ultimate magic solution that we keep getting told. And once I understood this concept of nutritional cleansing, it really changed the results I was getting. So what is nutritional cleansing? Right? So as the presentation says, nutritional cleansing plus creating a meal plan, it helps start the cleaning process of the body. So that's called using the right nutrition that's suitable for your body to help your own body clean itself, rather than, relying on drugs or these sorts of prescribed medications or these diet and exercise crazy plans that, that people recommend. And it's about bringing the body back into balance and helping you actually work more effectively to release weight. So we'll go into that now and talk about, well, what is the actual weight problem, right? So we've got 3 types of fat in the body. And this was something that was a real eye opener for me. Now, the first type of fat is our healthy, what we call essential fat. So that's the fat that we're born with, and it's like a cushion. It protects, the organs. It helps with vitamin absorption in the body. So we actually need that to survive. Then you have your energy fat, which is essentially what the body will burn, to create energy. So that's, usually from eating also unhealthy foods, we start to actually gain a lot of excess energy fat, and that's where our waistlines start to expand. But more importantly, and this is the third type of fat, which not a lot of people are aware of. It's called obesogen fat. So as the slide suggests, when we actually start to have a sedentary lifestyle, so we're not very mobile. We sit behind the computer most of the time, or we're in jobs where we're sitting, or we're not really engaging in any physical activity, or we're using endocrine disrupting chemicals and toxins, as I mentioned earlier. A lot of the products that are used on a daily basis in our homes and in our workplaces are containing potentially harmful ingredients. So what happens is the body actually stores those chemicals. It takes something like about, I think it was 26 seconds for the body to absorb a chemical through the skin or through the mouth. So when we're brushing with our toothpaste or washing our hair or even coloring our hair or whatever we're doing with those sorts of chemicals, they're going through our skin into the bloodstream and wreaking havoc. So what does the body do? It actually attempts to protect itself by producing extra fat to store the toxin inside, and then it goes and slaps it on your neck, under the arm area, on the love handles around the back, in the inner thigh area as well. And that's how we see the development of cellulite happening as well. So you might have been to the gym and you see people who are actually, thin and look sort of fit, but then they have all this cellulite. And that's this type of fat. So it can affect both thin and overweight people. And the worst part about it is that it sticks to your organs. So it actually makes your organs immovable, and they need to be able to have room to breathe in the body and operate. So the more solidified it gets, the worse it is. And then we have, all sorts of health issues like, cancer and heart disease and these sort of conditions erupting. So what's the solution, right? So there's the two types of dieting. So I was very used to doing traditional dieting, which is this top part. So what happens is with the traditional diet, we go, okay, well, we're overweight, not happy, I want to be thinner. So what do? Well, we try and diet and exercise. So that's usually involves depriving the body of nutrition, as I did. So I was eating less, and then I was exercising. So I'm putting all the stress on the body to try and burn what I thought was energy fat, but I wasn't focusing on the obesogen fat. So as you can see in the diagram here, the little stick man, has gone from being overweight to being thin, but see how the toxins haven't actually left the body. So we've gotten thinner, but the toxins are still there. So all those toxins, they still need to feed. It's live fat, so it's going to start your sugar cravings, your carb cravings, and that's where all those random cravings come from. So I noticed years ago when I did this type of traditional diet, I kept putting the weight back on. And I did this 4 times between the ages of 17 to 25. I lost more than 20 kilos each time doing this type of traditional diet. And what I found was that each time I lost the weight, I'd find it again. And that's solely because of this toxic fat that never actually left the body. So I appeared thinner, but I never actually physiologically got healthier. Now, if we compare that with nutritional cleansing and replenishing, Helene, and I thank you very much for this, as I've mentioned in previous lives, I appreciate your contribution in educating me about the difference between these two approaches. So we cleanse the body first. We work on removing the toxic fat cells that are stored all around the body. And as they start to remove, the body will naturally go, oh, I can release this weight now. I don't need to carry all this excess fat. And by changing our diet in constructive ways and without doing any sort of heavy exercising or anything, we're able to nutritionally cleanse ourselves, replenish the body with the right types of food nutrition, avoid things like potentially harmful chemicals in our products. So we have, I use toxic-free products now, so our whole house, nothing harmful in it. And as you can see here, the difference is the impurities have actually left the body. So we've been able to cleanse with the nutrition. And as a result of that, I was able to shift from being 135 kilos down to 83 kilos. So, and that was done across a 7-month period with no exercise. So And I've managed to keep about 80% of that weight off since then. That was in 2017. I'm now, 3 years later. I've balanced out, so I feel fantastic. And I actually am living the difference between these two solutions. So I really see that now. And what I would say that if I compare these two, I felt like I was basically a thin, overweight man here in the first solution, and in our nutritional cleansing solution, I actually feel like I'm now thin, like I'm actually fit. So I feel the physiological change, and that's sort of the only way I can explain it. It's until you experience it for yourself, it's something that you just have to experience in your life. So and even if it's only an extra 5 or 10 kilos that you're carrying around, you just want to get that toning happening, or get a few centimeters off the waist, whatever it is. Or even if you're in sort of the middle age or elderly, age brackets, it's about maintaining and making sure that you're in the best possible health conditions. So for your future. So I see this as something for pretty much all ages. And this way we avoid the rebound. So it says here, shed the kilos without the rebound. And that's how we do it. So I mentioned quite a few times about potentially harmful ingredients. So this is a little bathroom pocket guide, and it just talks a little bit about the types of chemicals. So there's about 3,000 potentially harmful chemicals out there, and these are just sort of the most popular ones. So the red ones are linked to cancer. The green ones are skin and eye irritants, so they can actually cause allergic reactions like eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, these types of skin conditions. The yellow ones accumulate in the body organs, and I'll touch on this point in a second. That's very important. The blue ones can cause asthma. So these are predominantly in cleaning type products. So usually when they heat up or when they're inhaled, it actually affects the respiratory system, and that's how asthma is caused. And the black ones are neurotoxins, so they damage the central nervous system. And if you're pregnant, they can actually pass through the umbilical cord to the unborn baby, which is terrifying in my opinion. So if we highlight a couple here, just as a practical example, lanolin, for example, it's sheep fat, right? It comes from animals. It's an animal product. Now, whether you feel that it's ethical to use animal products in our daily animal ingredients in our products is a separate issue. But what happens is, because it's got a very large molecular structure, and we put it on our skin to, it's usually in soaps or in moisturizers, that sort of thing. It actually ends up suffocating the skin, and that's how we end up, getting skin irritations from that type of product. SLS, which is sodium lauryl sulfate, has over 100 different marketing terms to refer to it, and that's because it's banned in certain countries, to my understanding. This actually accumulates over time, so sometimes you don't actually get an initial reaction when you first use it. It might take a few years before you start wearing down the skin's immune system and you start developing skin irritation. So this was one that once I eliminated out of the home, I haven't had heavy eczemas and dry skin and that since then. And the last one I want to highlight here is propylene glycol. So this is humectant. It basically keeps things moist. So they use it in industrial antifreeze and fridges, that sort of thing, and in moisturizers, and also colognes and things, because it keeps keeps it nice and moist. So when you put it on the skin, it feels nice because you're getting the moisture basically from the developing layers of skin. It pulls it up to the top. So you think, oh, feels really nice. But then you wake up, the next day and suddenly the skin's dry again, and I've got to use more moisturizer. So, and it's carcinogenic basically. So I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But, I urge everyone to do their own research. This was one of the most eye-opening and valuable gifts I've ever been given. When was it, 12, 13 years ago, Helene, now? I just did my own research. I went to the supermarket. I had a look at the actual ingredient labels on the products, and found some of these ingredients in the products I was using. So that's what made the switch for me, and I haven't looked back since then. So yeah, check it out for yourself. If you'd like one, we can definitely you're welcome to message us on Facebook, and we can give you a bathroom decoder, and you can go down to your local supermarket, or check your cupboard at home and see what's going on there. So the last thing I want to talk about tonight is nutritional deficiencies. So we talked about nutritional cleansing, but what's actually going on with the nutrition? So we get told, oh, vegetables are very healthy for us. We should be eating, more vegetables and other sorts of proteins and things, right? But if we look at this particular graph, which is sourced from the USDA food composition studies, so this is broccoli, 100 grams of broccoli in 1975 versus 2010. So that's a 35-year difference. Now, what are we seeing over here? So there's 54% reduction in calcium, 33% reduction in iron, 75% reduction in vitamin A, right? And it goes on. So the broccoli that we eat today is, up to 75% less nutritious than it was back in the 70s. So what does that tell you? That means we need to eat, at least 4 or 5 times as much to even have the opportunity to absorb the same amount of nutrition that we could 30 to 40 years ago. So what does that mean? Well, it's really evident when you look out the window. You see people, in their 20s and 30s and 40s suffering a range of, health issues that people, in that same age bracket 30 to 40 years ago, they never had those types of health issues. Cancer rates used to be, I think it was 1 in 80, and now it's 1 in 3. And that's over the last sort of 40 years. I mean, that's not normal. And we kind of either have it, or we know someone who's had it or has died from these types of diseases, heart disease, breast cancer, and all sorts of variations of that, and what it does to the body is obviously horrific. So we look at our nutrition and go, well, really, how balanced are our diets? People say, oh, I'm eating healthy, but if we actually compare, well, what are we actually eating, and how do we make up this shortfall? So this is why I started, supplementing as well. I found it very important to have a balanced diet, but then I realized that, well, there's less nutrition to actually absorb. So we live in an artificial, environment these days where food is genetically modified, and you can do your best to avoid that, but sometimes it's completely unavoidable with certain products. The wheat, for example. Wheat production and bread, these days, the wheat is just completely genetically modified, and you're welcome to, just Google and do some research around that. But we just use broccoli as an example today. So this is happening across the board with apples. I think the apple a day keeps the doctor away saying it's our naturopath had done some research into it, and he said it was about 24 apples a day you need to actually make up the nutrition from about 30 to 40 years ago. So I find that quite interesting, and I hope you do as well. So let's invite Helene now. I'd love for you to talk about what solutions there are available in the market. So Helene, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. That was excellent, Alexandra. It's a great overview of how the world's changing and how our bodies are also changing. And like you, I also had come from 149 kilos. My body was increasing a lot of weight. I was 84 kilos. I ran my own hair and beauty salons, and I couldn't understand why my weight was just escalating. And like Alexandros, we implemented this strategy, and I was able to release 50 kilos. And I'm still releasing because I know I've got a program here, and we've got a really good program that can assist us and help us. So you may go off the bandwagon, but you've got something to come back to. So the products that I'm going to talk about that we are connected to with Complete Lifestyles. Could I just have the next slide, thanks?
Yes.
Okay. Sizzle. Sizzle is a company that we're affiliated with and we've partnered with, and for many reasons. Sizzle is all about science, innovation, success, energy, and leadership. And they were the first. They actually were the whistleblowers over 30 years ago that alarmed the world of the harmful ingredients that were found in everyday personal care products, and it's called the Mauer Mission. And the founder of Sizzle, he actually had he was an industrial chemist. His son ended up with having problems, health challenges. And when he started to look at the products that he was using on his own body, he was alarmed because they were the ingredients that he was using in his manufacturing plant to make engine degreasers, cleaners to clean the blood off abattoir floors, and he knew that those ingredients were really dangerous. And he said that truckloads were leaving his plant, but he didn't really click where they were going. And then when he did his research, they were actually going to manufacturing companies to develop moisturizers, shampoos, and all the personal care that we used. So that's when he said he started to research and couldn't find something. And as a researcher, he said he was God gifted him with a brain to be able to go out there and make a difference. And he has been the leader with the Mauers, and this is how Sizzle was formed. An amazing company. They're all about premium ingredients at therapeutic doses. So when they research all the science behind the ingredient, and they're ahead of science in the ingredients. Mainstream companies may be using a minuscule of an ingredient, and then they top it with all the other ingredients that aren't beneficial. But when you are purchasing a product from Sizzle, it is pure premium ingredients, and they're at the 100% efficacy, where they absorb into the body and they work with the body and not against the body. So what we find is when people are joining and using these products, like myself and Alexandros and many of you who may be listening to this, that when we start with these products, we start to see results pretty much straight away. And that's because the quality of the ingredient works. So let's have a look now at some of the products that I'm going to talk about tonight. Now, this is our number one product. I love this product. It's called Fucoidan. Now, Fucoidan is an extremely powerful bioavailable restorative liquid supplement, which researchers proclaim may be the greatest source of support for intensive regeneration at a cellular level. It contains a remarkable natural enlivening, invigorating limu moe, which contains the fucoidan. And this magical component of fucoidan boasts well over 100,000 plus scientific studies that can be found in the United States National Institute of Health and Library of Medicine. And this ancient sea vegetable, limu moe, is actually it's a seaweed, is grabbing the attention of healthcare professionals around the globe. Scientific studies support the amazing regenerative support properties of fucoidan for nearly every system in the body. And you can see here the benefits. It supports the immune system. It supports a healthy liver and circularity system. It supports sustained energy and focus and clarity. It supports a healthy digestive tract. It supports a healthy mood, so we all want a healthy mood, and it supports healthy blood pressure. So with this, all we need is to take 30 mils a day in the morning. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, you have some water and you take 30 mils on an empty stomach. I like to also add an additional 30 mils in my water bottle. And you can see here just on the chart here, the cellular regeneration that Fucoidan supports and regenerates the processes of cells promoting health in your body. So as soon as you take this, it works as an adaptogen and it starts to go to work. It's been a great product that has supported many people who, fighting ailments, that they've been able to take this product to support them through many of their treatments. But it's also an amazing product for inflammation. So when we've got a lot of inflammation in the body, that's due to toxins, the Fucoidan actually supports the body, detoxes the body, cleanses the body. It also works on the gut. It's got a pre and probiotic, so it works as a probiotic on the gut, and it has so many advantages. So 30 to 60 mils a day can really change your overall health. This is a standalone product. If it's one product and you're not sure where to start, keep in mind Fucoidan is a great place to start. So the next slide, thanks, Alexandros. Okay, so now let's talk about a super detox. Today, we're all looking, there's so many detoxes out there on the market, taking juices or doing a 3-day detox. What happens with the other detoxes on the market is that you may detox, but what you're doing is you're breaking down toxins. And what those toxins do, they start to circulate in the bloodstream. They may leave, but then they start to circulate. They've got nowhere to go, and then they go and park themselves back into those fat stores. And this is why you probably find, if you have been on a detox program, that you've got headaches, migraines, you're feeling fatigue, you don't feel well. This is because you're not really doing a proper detox. What we do here with the Super Detox, this is actually works on a very different level. And the benefits are it helps support healthy livers and bowels, and it supports a detoxification for your intestinal tract and your body. And the key thing that this product does, it removes mucoid plaque from your body. Our GI tract has a buildup of mucoid plaque, and you can have feces sitting there of up to 6 to 12 kilos backlogged in your back. And you might find, if people have got a lot of back problems, fatigue, inflammation, that's because you've got a big build-up mucoid plaque. And there's not one person, I believe, on the planet that does not have mucoid plaque. They said John Wayne had 40 pounds of mucoid plaque when he died. Now, this mucoid plaque also restricts the body of absorbing good nutrition. And we go to the dentist to remove plaque off our teeth. We need to do this with our GI tract. And this little powerful system here is a 4-day system. They give us 15 capsules in this little bottle, and you usually have about 5 capsules left, and that they give them to us just in case we need to do an extra couple of days. This helps the systems with the nutrients that it needs to eliminate the bodily toxins. And it's not a detox where, you feel like you can't leave home. It actually is quite gentle. And, if you do this with a clean eating, after 4 days, you're going to feel a remarkable difference in your body. And we've had, really great testimonials where people have reported that the inflammation has already settled. We've had people come back saying their bursitis has settled. And that's because we've actually flushed all the toxins out of the body's system, and the body's now able to absorb nutrition well. Thanks, Alexandros. Now, after we have replenished the body, we replenish it now with our Balance D, and this is a pre and probiotic. Now, we have a practitioner in our team, Maria de Michel, is a lymphatic masseur, and she says if you're someone who's got a leaky gut or problems with your gut, maybe don't look at doing the Super Detox first, but it's really important to let your body, let your gut wall heal. And the way to let that gut wall heal is by taking the Balance D and the Fucoidan. Now, the difference is probiotics out there, but they're just probiotics. With this blend here, this blend is prebiotics and probiotics, fiber and vitamin D. We need the prebiotics to help create an ideal environment for the probiotic to thrive. So that's the food. And we also need the fiber to help generate really good good food in our gut, so it multiplies and it grows. Now, with just a probiotic, that's we're removing good and bad bacteria, but we want to be able to support the gut by balancing it out with the good and the bad. So this supports the removal of excess waste and harmful bacteria in your digestive tract. It promotes intestinal regularity, 100% gluten-free. Now, let's look at some of the problems that we have in the gut. And if you do have any of these problems, you will see that, the Fucoidan and the Balance D will help. If you've got symptoms of bloating, abdominal pain, diarrhea, IBS, indigestion, reflux, heartburn, food intolerances, fatigue, brain fog, joint pain and cravings, this is because your body throws in, is under a lot of stress levels, processed foods, overconsumption, gut struggles, and the results causing many of the digestive symptoms, and also antibiotics. We start to lose our good bacteria just by taking antibiotics. So taking a good course of Balance D can really support the gut and the gut wall to build. And, because Ali Maria, who's lymphatic masseur in our team, says if you've got a weak wall in your gut, you're just going to put toxins back into your gut. So it is recommended that if you do have any of these symptoms, start with your Fucoid and your Balance D, and then you can introduce your Super Detox at a later stage. So this is a wonderful product. You know, the bottle says take up to 7, but what they do is Sizzle, they give you the maximum. You can start off with 2 and build yourself up. I'd like to take 3 in the evening, and that works really well for me. Thanks, Alexandros. Okay, so now let's look at the age pill. The age pill was designed to help combat aging. This is an amazing new research and development that has come through Sizzle, and it supports stem cells. And stem cells, as we live day to day and with our routines, our stem cells become cluttered and they get filled with cellular garbage, and that slows down the energy production, causes decay and degeneration, which ultimately leads to aging. And the age pill, what this does, it actually supports the removal of glycation that builds up in the joints, it builds up in the cells, and it's just glug that sits there. So this actually helps reduce it, and it works on a cellular level. So cellular sludge and supports the body system's energies. And it provides massive support for energy. So if you'd like to feel 20 years younger, you're definitely going to get this with the age pill, but a very great product for inflammation, pain, anything that, you know, that the body's not feeling well, you're going to find that the age pill is going to help you. And we've also had great testimonials on energy levels, skin, hearing, hair, and memory and eyes. So with this product here, it's, you know, depending on your age, you can start with 2 in the morning, 2 at night, and it works up to 4 and 4. So depending on your age, the back of the instructions on the bottle will tell you how to do this. Thanks, Alexandros. Okay, so we have a really great pack in Sizzle that you can purchase, and this has the 3 products. It's called the Healthier, Slimmer You Pack, Happier You Pack, and it's got the Super Detox, the Balance D, and the Age Pill. And that can be purchased in a pack, and it's around $200. It's an excellent, plus I think that may include your shipping. That is an excellent gift that you can give yourself for health. Superior products with, you know, ingredients that are premium ingredients. They are at therapeutic doses. Now, for the women, we have a separate product which is called the Inner Chi for Her. Now, women do have hormones, we have premenstrual, we have PMT, but women also tend to have more, their metabolic system is really sluggish, and Syndrome X can set in, and this is what I have Syndrome X, where my body doesn't produce the insulin and it stores the fat. So Inner Chi is a wonderful product for just general well-being, but it's got a really great ingredient in it called Equal. And Equal is an ingredient that was researched that actually protects women from breast cancer. So it's a really great precursor to have to protect yourself, and it's one that I do take every single day. So this is a great combination. You can buy the pack, you can add the Super Detox and your Fucoid, and you are on your way to definitely a healthier, slimmer, happier you. Thanks, Alexandros. So what's the solution and how do you do this? It's very easy. Connect with the person who invited you to watch this webinar. They will assist you on how to open your account with Sizzle. Now you have a choice where if you want to be a customer with Sizzle, you can just go online, purchase your products, have them delivered to your door, or you may like to look at some of the advantages that Sizzle have and the rewards that you can have becoming a member. You also receive your personal website where you can log in and order your amazing innovative products. And the products that you'll see, you're going to see great products in fitness, health, home care, personal care, and skin care. So if you'd like to change, your home, the way you live, and avoid all those toxins going into your body and have optimum health that you can add 20 years onto your life, then I really recommend that you connect with Sizzle and connect with the person who invited you. They would definitely be able to support you on how to get started and how to order your products. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I'm just going to stop the recording, Alexandros, and